Welcome to Daylight for SketchUp. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at sunlight to amenity space. Click on the link in the top corner to watch setting up the groups first. So we're going to analyse sunlight to the rear gardens and the front gardens of number 32 and number 34. So the process starts with registration, so let's open up that dialog box and we're going to just put it onto amenity and we're going to start with number 32. So number 32, ground floor, and I'm just going to use the defaults for the prefix in the number. So start with A1 for the front garden, A2 for the back, and we're going to do the same for number 34. So just pick face to register and select the face. And that's it. And you can see it increments onto the next automatically. So I've done the same for the back garden. Then we can just change this to number 34 and you can see the counter will automatically reset, and then I can pick front garden and the back garden. And that's it. Our 4 amenities are registered. So we can close this dialog down and go straight to calculations. So calculate daylight, I'm going to select amenity, and we're going to calculate everything. I could do it by selection, or I could put them all on a layer and run that layer. So let's add that to the list and click run. This is fairly quick, just takes a couple of seconds to analyse. And there we go. So let's close this dialog down and have a look at some of these results. So we'll start with the existing. So we'll turn that on. And you can see various colours indicating the amount of sunlight falling on the space. So every time a calculation is performed, it generates a legend. If we go to the job folder, we can have a look at those. So images, room legend, and you can see we've got 8 legends. So we've got 2 properties, 32 and 34, and we've got 2 amenities in each one, and each one has an existing and a proposed calculation, so hence we've got 8 outputs. So if we look at the existing value, if we just move that out of the way, you can see we've got between 0 and 30 minutes is 53%, and the rest is all above 120 minutes and not a lot in between. That's for the front garden. If we just swap that to the rear garden, you can see we've got a range of percentages as is shown here for each of those bands. That's the existing, and then we've got the proposed. And if we want to change to the proposed on the screen, we can just do that by changing the layer. So we've got amenity existing, amenity proposed. You can see that the rear gardens change very little. The front gardens change a small amount, which you can just about see. Yeah, so slightly less light with the proposal in there. The fence at the front is the dominant factor here, which is why there's very little change in these gardens. I think if we remove the fence, you would probably see a larger change. So we also have some textural labels. So if we just turn those layers on, amenity text existing, amenity text proposed. And you can see the rear gardens have got no impact from the proposal, but it's a little bit tricky to see, but you can spin that around a bit better. I'll tell you what, let me just turn the road layer off. There you go, that's better. Yeah, you can see so there's very little change in the front as well. I think the bottom garden here has got a slight change. Yeah, so very marginal, but a slight impact there as well. There's also a tabular output, so let's go to the job folder, the reports, and then amenity. There you go. So you can see we've got the 4 amenity areas, got the lit area existing, lit area proposed, the percentage of change, and whether it meets the BRE criteria. And that concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching.